Hello YouTubers, this is the Noobifier. Today I have a short behind the scenes with a cool story about coming up with a concept and then knowing the right person to help. Those of you who have seen this setup before know that when I moved to Ottawa, I decided to build a recording room to game from. This would ensure a great place to record audio, and it also keeps the house quiet for when I'm gaming. I exclusively play standing up, and the workspace has evolved over the years. More monitors, more controllers, better mounts, with increasingly optimal ergonomics, and a better place to game or create from. The room has also allowed me to substitute in on short notice whenever there was an opportunity to go live on a podcast. Lights, green screen, and camera setup took about 4 minutes, and I was ready to go live for podcast. I have a video linked up for you right now about my upgrade to one large monitor. It was a step in the right direction, so adding a second would be epic. So I did that. That video is also linked up for you right now. The combined weight of two 49-inch monitors would have been far too much for any normal mounting system, and the standing desk would jiggle and wiggle all around like crazy. This is where Monstertech came in, because I knew that they'd worked on some custom monitor solutions in the past. After some thought, a custom ceiling mount solution would suit the room perfectly. It looked crazy, it put the monitors perfectly at the right level, it was adjustable, but most important, it had a great secondary effect of eliminating all movement in the monitors. It became clear after that nothing important was actually sitting on the desk. For my particular use within the sound studio, a huge flat surface like a desk was a massive sound reflector. I saw removing it from the studio as a major plus. This video update deals specifically with what I replaced the desk with. The inspiration came from looking at what was attached to the desk already. Monstertech desk mounts are fully adjustable because they're based on aluminum profile, so why not build a desk completely out of aluminum profile? A simple 5-sided box attached to the wall would have the strength and rigidity and also allow for adjustment. The wall in the studio is actually built as 2 walls, so even with a stud finder, there would be no way for me to find a stud reliably without ripping the wall apart. After careful consideration, I decided that drilling all the way through the wall would let me pass a long threaded rod all the way through both sets of insulation in both walls, and then use a washer or nut and cut it flush with a Dremel. I painted right over it and it's barely noticeable. The cage itself is made up of 4 pieces of 70cm 40-40 profiles that extend from the wall, 2 100cm 40-40 profiles that form the front, top, and bottom, 2 42cm tall profiles on each side, and then I can use up to 4 vertical profiles to attach my controllers to. I'm currently using 3. However, I believe for testing the new CM2 throttle, that'll be a natural opportunity to optimize the setup and use 4. The keyboard mount is slightly biased right to offset for the wire. The left and right joystick are mounted on pitch adapters with long extensions, which makes it super comfortable even for long play sessions. I have the mouse surface attached to my right mount. The Stream Deck is mounted to an MFD plate behind the keyboard. The microphone is mounted using a Rode P1, which was drilled into a piece of spare profile and then secured to the frame. The preamp and cloud lifter rest on a repurposed throttle plate, and my volume dial rests on a repurposed MFD plate, completely not being used for their intended purpose. However, I mention this to illustrate a point. Modular customization has been there from the beginning, and any part that you have or will get from Monstertech will work where you need it in the future. I'm going to end the video on the strengths and weaknesses of this new setup, plus the new problem that the change created, and then how we solved it. Separating the monitors from the controllers by keeping the monitors attached to the ceiling ensures no movement at all. Big plus. Being modular, I can add and remove as I need. Being wide and securely attached to the wall resulted in a very solid place to type from. I have no concern resting weight on my wrists when typing or using the mouse. It can be adjusted up or down to suit a new pilot. The controller mounts can be moved left or right with a simple Allen wrench. And a major bonus is the setup is the true centerpiece for the studio, completely unique looking and pure function. For the negatives, I would say that cable management, if you're truly OCD, would be a challenge, as there's nowhere to hide the wires. The wires can be held in place with clips though. Quality, custom, and function always come at a cost, but compared to other sit-stand desks, I think that this would be comparable. And on the topic of sit-stand, this can't convert down to sit. That never bothered me, but if it bothers you, you'd need to find some kind of bar stool to sit on. The eagle-eyed amongst you may be asking the question, where would the webcam go for streaming? And that actually took some thought. Normally the camera would just sit on top of the main monitor, but because there are 2 stacked, this wasn't possible. And using some janky support arm to hold the camera would mean that it wiggled all the time. So that was the inspiration for the final solution. Why not run a length of aluminum profile directly across the monitors, bisecting them at their normal seam? The bar would let me mount cameras, lights, track IR, and most importantly, it would then be removable in seconds when not needed. I love this type of problem solving that involves building and tweaking something. I've always liked whatever iteration I had within the studio, and with each evolution, it obviously gets closer to perfect. I couldn't have made this video without the help of Monster Tech. In the near future, I will be showcasing their second version of the chair mount. Spoilers, it's basically indestructible, and that's it. This is a community-supported channel that operates ad-free. If you like the content and you're able to, please consider supporting directly. Thank you very much for spending your time with me. Fly safe, and I'll see you in the verse.